How you doing? This is The Water is Wide. I've arranged it in first position for a basic to intermediate fingerstyle arrangement. Some of the arrangements that I saw were in the key of E major. I obviously did this in the key of C major for first position and ease of play. So we'll get right in. C chord to begin, but there's some pickup notes first. So we've got, and you'll notice in the tablature, if you're not looking at the notation, that there are notes in parentheses. That means the note is being tied. So if you look at the notation, you'll see the note being tied through, and that's what the parentheses means in the tablature. So here you go. So right off the bat, let's just look at those two. There's a note being tied right to the C chord. So if I go, I'm going to hold that note and then place the rest of my C chord, or frankly, you can just place the C chord and start the tune like this. That might be the smartest thing. Let's do that. Place the C chord, start the tune. Now that note is an A and it's a second finger on the second fret. I have to place that, hold it there because there's parentheses and it ties through to the next measure, and then immediately place the full F bar. So, and then what I'm going to do is what's called the hinge. Once I place the full F bar, you can see how I've got a C note and then an open B, so I'm going to play like that. But I'm not releasing, I'm just going. So you're going to be holding the three lower fingers, the index, middle, and pinky finger on the F and the C and the F. And then there's going to be some movement on top, and it creates a really nice sound. Do your best. If you have to release something, obviously just do that. Now, C is already there, I'm going to leave it there. Now I go into a C shape. So what that was C, and then I add a little finger here on this F, which creates C sus4, and then I come back to a C. Now this time I hold that note and I go into A minor. I keep the first finger there and go into a bit of a D minor shape. But you can see how there's a melody weaving into the D minor shape, so by the end of the measure my D minor shape is there, but there was a melody weaved in there. Now this note with the little finger is a D on the 3rd fret, and there's parentheses, so I have to hold that and then play the lower notes here like this. Notice that that note never left that fret. Okay, so measure 9 and 10 sounds like this. Now that note held over. Okay, so you're noticing a little trend here where the melody happens on the and of 4 and carries over into the new measure. So what will happen is you're playing along, at the end of a measure a new note will occur that's part of this chord over here. It hits by itself and it sustains while you have to place the rest of the chord underneath it. That's called anticipation. You're anticipating the new measure with one note or maybe more, but in this case it's just one, and then the rest of that chord happens. So you strike that note, and in context of that, the measure that it's in might seem like a wrong note, but if you sustain it and then you place the real chord that it belongs to, then it resolves. And that's what happens here. Well, it happened many times. So these two notes here, part of the F chord, same thing. Now we're going to break from the bar because there's a rest there, and you can see how the bar is not there. I have to come up here and do this nice little descending slide. And there's the anticipation again, but let's go back to the slide. Little finger on the A note. And then we've got a B and a G with a 1 and a 2 and a 1 fingers. I slide it down to an A and a F. 2 open strings, which is a G and an E, and then I have an F and a D. And then I have an E and a C. So now you saw I hit these 2 notes, and then I drop the F note. So that's anticipation, bang, now I've got the next chord in measure 13. Then melody. That's a full F chord, even though I'm playing a low 3. I just want to make sure I place that. Then there's the anticipation again. I go. I put the C note in while the G sus4 chord's playing, then I resolve to the C chord. And I didn't end on beat 1 in measure 16. You realize I ended on the and of beat 4. I hit that C chord, and there's a tie into the next. Why? Well, because it kind of keeps the same idea that something happening on beat 4, and when I arranged it, I thought, well, that might make sense to end it there. Then we start over here. Okay, it says 80 on the metronome. You can certainly play it at any speed that you want. It's a nice slow song, or if it goes a little faster, it sounds nice too. But so just pick your own tempo. I think let's find 80 here, just so you can kind of feel it. You also have Guitar Pro 6, which will play it back to you. So I have it going a little, in fact. Now, if you wanted to go to 70, still sounds great. Okay, so you get the picture. One measure at a time, and kind of piece the parts together of that measure, and then go to the next measure and practice only that measure, and then try to put 2 measures together, concentrating on the notes that are anticipated. You see a bunch of little ties. The curved line is the tie, or the parentheses notes if you're looking at the tablature only, which I hope you're not. Those are the important notes to hold and sustain while you try to play into the next chord. That'll make it sound really smooth. So enjoy. The Water is Wide. It's a traditional song. Couldn't find out who wrote it, so we just put traditional. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.